Carp. Jesus went hunting up in North Texas and was on my second property of the night when I spied these hogs using my IR Patrol, which is a nice handheld by Trigicon that I like to use, and got them recorded with my IR Hunter.
Optics provided by Third Coast Thermal.
Now these hogs are way out there at over 1,000 yards away. There's a fence line where the double power poles are. That's at about 750 yards. And so I spent about 30 minutes watching these hogs for the second night this week, hoping they'd come across my side of the fence. But both times they disappeared off to the north into the trees behind them. Later on I moved on to another property, spied this animal down between the trees about 300 yards away. And here I'm trying to get it identified. As you can see from the inset image, the nose and ears, that's a hog. But in real time, it took me a couple more minutes before I was finally sure that it was definitely a hog, and I decided to make my advance on it. Here I'm at 205 yards, and unfortunately the wind is blowing towards the hog. It's not blowing very hard, and the hog is lower down in elevation than I am. And every time you see the screen flash like that, that's where I moved up a little bit farther. There's actually 2 rows of barbed wire fence between the hog and myself, and I don't want to risk shooting through the fence and hitting one of the strands of wire. Fortunately, my luck's holding out and the hog has not winded me yet. And I finally got a good view over the tops of the fences. I start to take my shot here, just not comfortable with it. I reposition, take a couple cleansing breaths. Here we go. Solid hit. And here I'm just going to watch the hog run. It's a nice open field. I'm not going to have any trouble finding this hog. And down he goes after running about 50 yards. And so at this point I'm just watching to make sure that he doesn't get up again. He turned out to be a medium-sized boar coming in at 155 pounds. And as ever,
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
the shot entered low on the rib cage, as you see here. And here's going to be a little bit better view of it. And here's where I pulled back the skin, looking at the entry wound, a lot of blood coming out at the time. After skinning out the other side, you can see blood leaking out of the abdominal and thoracic cavities, indicating that there was massive internal bleeding. Now I've moved around to the other side to take this picture. The top right circle is where I found the bullet jacket lodged, just behind the scapula. And as the whole shoulder girdle is rotated out of place, the circle at the low left is where the bullet exited the thoracic cavity. In looking specifically at the performance of the Hornady ELD match 130 grain bullets, the core separated from the jacket and only the jacket was recovered, along with a piece of bone fragment adhering to it that weighed in at 2.2 grains. The jacket itself came in at 33.5 grains, and the core was lost somewhere inside the body. The bullet entered low left on the rib cage, broke one rib going in, and managed to destroy a large portion of the liver, probably going through the stomach beforehand, damaged the right lung, exiting the rib cage, damaging one rib, and then impacting behind the scapula, leaving a depression in the scapula, and after all was said and done, it had traveled approximately 14 inches through the body. And now, here's the shot in slow motion. Carpe sus, my friends.